Hi guys, welcome to my table of trash. I thought since we are going to make this week about cleaning and I took a few questions about zero waste cleaning in the morning, I will answer your questions while I'm cleaning my table. And this is the corner of my room that tends to get hoarded and gets a lot of waste, all the packaging, whatever I don't want to deal with. I just keep stuffing it over here. I thought I'll clean my room while I'm answering all your questions. So starting with one, someone asked to address the hoarding tendency among zero wasters, which is true. Zero wasters do tend to end up hoarding a lot, but I think that's mainly because you have an expectation of yourself that you'll be able to manage whatever you're hoarding. You'll be able to figure out a way to recycle or upcycle or DIY everything in the best way possible. And when you're not able to do that for a very long time, you end up realizing you've just hoarded a lot of shit for a very long time. So yeah, definitely, I wouldn't say hoarding is a problem. It's not really a negative thing unless it's interfering with the rest of the activities in your life, right? So when you're hoarding, see if you're doing it in a neat and organized manner. Are you washing and segregating it so that you know where you will go drop it off? Or are you just simply piling on and just putting off the work of segregating it for much later? So it's really more about the intention. But obviously, to an outsider who looks at your hoarded stuff, it will look like, okay, you're just piling trash. Even segregated waste looks like trash to a lot of people who see it if it's not done in a neat way or something like that. So that tends to happen a lot, and it's not really an issue. The only thing that you can, I guess, take away from that is know yourself. Are you really the kind of person who will DIY something, who will upcycle something, who will have the time to sit and do some craft, thing that you saw online because other zero wasters are doing it? If you know you're not that person, just go ahead and manage that waste. Just recycle it, donate it, or compost it. Okay, it's fine. You don't have to constantly hoard everything and hope that you do something amazingly sustainable with it. The bare minimum is at least recycle things, donate things, or else compost things. So that's about hoarding. And as you can see, this table is kind of an area where I end up hoarding things. And once in 2 weeks or 1 month, I come back to it and then I pick out all the materials. I segregate, your paper, plastic that can be recycled or can't be recycled, and I pick out whatever is landfill trash if there is. Usually there isn't too much of it, but that's mainly because I know where to send my waste. That is not because I'm perfect at living zero waste. I know which organizations to reach out to, even if I create the worst case scenario waste situation, right? I know even the unrecyclable waste also can be managed as polyfuel if I collect it long enough. And if you see this big box over here, that is the box in which I collect all my soft plastics or packets and torn pieces of sachets and things, and even like plastic tubes which cannot be recycled. Things that cannot be recycled go into this box after I cut it open and clean it and all of that. Empty tubes waste. Okay, so empty tubes like this. What do you do about them? This is a sanitizer tube. So technically, I don't need to clean it from inside because it's a sanitizer tube. But if it's any other tube, you would have to cut it open. I would cut open the bottom like this. Don't go till the edge. Oh my god. Yeah, so cut open your tube like this and clean out all the corners. And this is not something that is recyclable because the insides are lined with aluminium, the outside is plastic. So any material that is mixed cannot be recycled. It's landfill trash usually, but I have discovered like a polyfuel unit in Pune for which I collect all the waste for, and that goes into a box like this where I keep collecting the waste that needs to be sent there, and I send it once in a year or so. So mostly it doesn't collect as frequently because we try and avoid bringing packaged items at home as much as possible. But in some situations, if you have guests or you end up collecting it somewhere, or you just end up with it for any reason, I bring it home, I clean it, and I store it for that. Swept dust that contains small particles of plastic. So yeah, so when you're cleaning your house, you're sweeping your house, and there are small particles of plastic or polyester or threads or anything. If I'm having a good day, I take it out. I take it out and I collect it in the same box. If it's too small and I feel like, okay, this I possibly don't have that kind of energy or the bandwidth to segregate every particle, I let it go. I once had that issue in my composting balcony where there was a really old plastic mat. It's like these chatai, that the plastic chatais that are sold. Please never buy them. They're horrible. They don't last long and then they become brittle and they break down in really small particles of plastic. But we had one old one in that balcony, and because of sun and rain and all that exposure, it had turned really brittle. And there were these small particles of plastic all over the balcony, and I just, like, I couldn't deal with that, so I gave up. I did sweep that and I did put it in the trash. So in that case, I made an exception once in a while. But in most cases, if you have like big pieces of plastic lying around on the floor in your house, pick it up before someone else sweeps it, because if you're the only person in the house who cares about not letting too much plastic out of your house, then you're the only one who has to take the responsibility to pick it up. And if you're having a bad day and if you feel like, okay, this is too much effort and I feel like giving up, don't feel guilty, guys. You can always try again. You can always work on it again. It's not on your shoulders that you have to do everything. Okay. Old cassettes and CDs. CDs are technically plastic. They should be recycled. Check with a recycling company or a dry waste company in your area. They can also be given for, I think, as electronic waste. So MSIDE is a organization that would collect it. Cassettes, I would suggest, cassettes can also be recycled, but if you can avoid recycling something and you can send something for upcycling, that is like 2 steps better on the sustainability scale, right? So if you can reuse or upcycle something, that's much better than recycling it first. You can save it for recycling much later, maybe when it's not in a usable condition at all. So cassettes are being collected by Recharkha Ecosocial, and you can definitely donate it to them. They make bags out of it and they look amazing. And can laminated paper be recycled? Yes. So I had a beef with laminated paper, and I recently learned that yes, they can also be recycled as long as you clean them neatly. So we're talking about laminated paper that looks like this. So underwear is not something I make an exception for. I have to buy it. So they came in these boxes, and these papers are not compostable. So if you tore these boxes and try to compost it, they will not biodegrade because they're laminated with some layer of plastic, and the print and the ink and all of that. It doesn't allow it to biodegrade quickly. So, but if they're clean, they're not stained with food. For example, Fasos, they send wraps that come in compostable paper, but they're put in these kind of boxes, right? So I tend to order Fasos a lot because I know how to deal with that trash. Same goes for burgers and pizzas also. So what I do is the paper that the rolls are wrapped in, I shred it and I put it in compost, or I save it somewhere until I have the time to do that. And the laminated paper boxes, I make sure that I remove the wrap. I make sure there's not any stains, or if I wash off the stains and let it dry in the sun, and then I save it for recycling. And they are accepted for recycling. It goes under mixed paper recycling, and it's not the same as the cardboard recycling where that paper goes for. All right, so that answers all your questions. I feel upcycling any type of plastic would give it opportunity to become microplastic. Recycling would eliminate that opportunity, right? Yes, don't complicate the ability to recycle something by sticking together two different materials ever. Like it's very cute, and I know a lot of people do that. They upcycle things, they cut things up and all of that. But if that, whatever structure you have made, whatever piece of craft or art you have made is even more difficult to manage later on, then it's probably not worth it. If you're going to upcycle something, use paper with paper, use plastic with plastic. Use similar, metal with metal. Don't mix things up, and it's gonna become a mess. So yeah, all right. Okay, this tube has some sanitizer left in this, so I'm just gonna. And because this box is so huge, I also keep other boxes inside this. This is another box in which I'm segregating foil pieces in one, so you can see like all this chocolate that I have been eating. Chocolate and medicine foil, vitamin C medicine foils that we have been eating these days. All of that goes into the foil and aluminium recycling. And in the other side of the box, I'm collecting hard plastic. We found this piece of hard plastic from a single-use razor somewhere in the house, so I'm segregating it in that. And because I just wanted to save space, I'm just keeping it inside this. This is a box from shipping that I got from Brown Living, and they stuck two boxes together, which is so convenient because this is perfect for segregation. Alright, and things like this, this also comes from shipping because we had to get medicines during lockdown last year, and a few medicines came in this huge bubble wrapped packet. I didn't throw it away. What I did instead was I'm using it to store items, paper tape, and whenever I'm shipping any orders and I'm packing the boxes, whatever materials I need, I have kept it in this, and this is the packet I use whenever I need to pack the orders. Okay, can we use any other fruit waste besides citric fruits to create bioenzyme? Yes, you can, but the bioenzyme won't be strong enough and you'll not be happy with the results. And it doesn't even fizz or produce as much gas. So I have never bothered doing that again. I once tried to make watermelon peel bioenzyme. Horrible results. It's still sitting in the box outside in my balcony. I'm just not happy with it. How can I start like you? Start hoarding like me, and you'll eventually figure out what to do with the waste. So if you actually go to my website, this is the reason why I started Ulysses.com, because you're just hoarding, and you spend so much time figuring out what to do with the materials that you have hoarded. You have to physically hunt around, you have to look through Instagram pages, you have to DM influencers who are not giving you the straight answer on the posts of what to do with them. So that's why I started the website, where if you scroll down, there's a section called waste management. Click on that and you will find links to several organizations that accept your waste or will do a pickup in your city if they're in your city. You can even ship it to them, if you're living in a very remote area. So if you're doing something like shipping waste, please make sure you've collected it for at least 1 year. Otherwise it's not like worth it. What do you do with toned rubber bands? They go in my EcoBrick. So there are some things, if they're small in size and easy to put inside an EcoBrick, I put them in EcoBrick. Let me show you. Okay, this is laminated paper. This goes in my laminated paper box. These are my EcoBricks. And if you can see, a lot of the waste inside my EcoBrick are tapes. So whenever I get online orders and there are plastic tapes stuck to paper cardboard, I separate the two and I put the tapes inside these EcoBricks, because the cardboard itself can very easily be recycled and even reused. So I don't want those plastic tapes to remain when I'm sending orders to my customers. So I replace that with paper tape or something, so my customers can at least deal with the waste more easily. So that's what I do with like rubber bands or small bits of plastic that I didn't know what to do with. But I will admit, ever since I discovered that I can send stuff for polyfuel, which is also a linear form of managing with waste, because they take the plastic and they incinerate it and they create fuel out of it. And then that fuel is quite kind of similar to kerosene, and they sell it to nearby villages for cooking oil and things like that. But before that, a lot of the plastic I used to stuff it down EcoBricks because I didn't think that there was any solution to them. And I have to remind you guys, just because these options are available does not mean that you keep bringing more plastic into your house. The goal should be to eliminate it at source as much as possible. Cool head. All right. Cool. So, okay, so what's in my waste? This is mixed. This is a plastic packet which is lined with paper, which is the epitome of the most annoying kind of waste that you can find, because this cannot be recycled and this cannot even go in polyfuel. I think they say it is allowed because when they burn it, the paper burns away, and then the plastic is something that does get processed in the system. But I still find it very annoying that this packaging is designed at all. This is a Ziploc. So this is plastic. This is all plastic inside and out, and it is Ziploc. I like it when things are Ziploc because at least I can put it to some use than throwing it away. So what I do is I would use this to store something in this and put this inside somewhere. But because I haven't done that in a while and I have been keeping it at my table thinking I'll use it someday, I'm gonna put this into my segregation bin and not delay any further. Once inside EcoBrick, can't it be turned into polyfuel? So I'm not extremely sure about what kind of materials can go into polyfuel, right? Plastics can go, plastic mixed with paper a little bit can go, but things like fabrics or elastics and rubber bands and silicone and rubber pieces, there's a lot of random bits of materials that I don't know how to segregate them. So a lot of times that goes into my EcoBrick. So I don't want to give these EcoBricks for polyfuel donation. If you don't want to collect them in boxes, if you don't want to collect plastic for polyfuel in boxes, you can also collect them in bottles and then donate the bottles directly to the polyfuel center. But if you're creating EcoBricks not for donation of polyfuel, then you need to have a plan. You need to have some project or some upcycling project in planned in your future. You need to have the intention to use it. Don't make EcoBricks and then get sick of them and then throw them away to expecting someone to recycle it. No one's going to recycle it. This is as good as bad as a landfill, but the only difference is it's in my room and I'm controlling it, and it's like not killing the planet and all that. So can you make a post of what all can be sent for polyfuel? This is there in my website. If you go on waste management section and you scroll down, there's an entire poster of all the things that Polyfuel Center accepts, and you can see that. I will add it sometime. The reason I haven't added it is because I don't want to make it a thing. I don't want to encourage people to collect it too much, but at the same time I have made the information available on my website, so please head there. And based on whatever resources you get, start segregating based on that. You don't have to think about what number plastic it is and all of that. You can start segregating things as this is hard plastic, this is soft plastic, this goes for upcycling because it's in a good condition and this brand will accept it. This box is going to this recycling center because I know they're going to accept it. Here is in this box I have been collecting whenever I used to meet my friends, and if anyone's a smoker, I used to collect their cigarette butts and the smell. And I used to collect their cigarette butts, and this box, I know whenever this is full, I'll send it to Code Effort in Noida or something like that. So segregate based on your sources that you find, and it'll become quite easy rather than getting confused about being correct about segregation. Check with the organization what they accept and what they don't accept. Okay, other kinds of hoarded trash. So this is a really cute some theory of friendship thing that was written in my childhood. I don't know how it came up, but it's just been sitting here because I don't feel like throwing it away. Sentimental values attached to it. So what I would do with something like this is I would, if I want to retain it, but I don't want to have this paper lying around all the time, I would scan this and I would keep a scanned digital copy in my laptop or in Drive somewhere. And I would manage this as paper and just compost it, tear it up, all of that. Don't get don't get too sentimental and start hoarding stuff. That is like the first type of hoarding we should really avoid. um, and it's fair to have a few things that add value to your life and you want a reminder of it every day, but a lot of things are just sitting inside your shelves and they're not really being looked at as much, right? So when you notice there is something that you haven't touched or haven't looked at or haven't even noticed has been sitting around for many months, it's time to manage it. It's time to just look at it like paper, plastic, and glass, whatever it is. Look at it as a material and just manage it. Click pictures, scan it, save or have a digital copy of it, but move on. If you don't know what to do with your eco bricks, ask your architecture designer friends. They will be more than happy to accept the eco bricks for their projects. Yes, if you have friends like that, you can do that as well. All right, these are bills and DTTC courier sheets and things, and these are also a lot of paper that I'm collecting because when you're shopping from zero waste brands, they tend to wrap stuff in paper a lot and you will end up with paper waste, which you can use. You can shred it up. I have been collecting a lot of compostable paper, things that are not laminated with plastic, that's not glossy, that's not annoying, in this box. And whenever I'm running out of brown waste, which is dry organic matter for your compost to balance out the moisture of wet waste, I take paper from here, I shred it up and I put it in my compost bin. So I have like a permanent supply of brown organic matter as well. And I don't actually need to buy remix powder if you have fixes like this. And compost is more productive than throwing it for recycling or just trashing it in the bin. My mom saying we can use the Ziploc packets to store something, veg, lemon, dry masala in the fridge. Okay, Amma, I'll give it to you. I'll just wait. Yeah, I should have saved this for my mom. She reuses this a lot. I see you have Fool's incense box over there, another brand that says the packaging is sustainable, but it's not. Yeah, so Fool, because they have scented products which uses essential oils, which will lose that that scent if they don't wrap it with plastic. So they have one film of plastic that they add to their products, this single-use plastic, which even I was disappointed by. And I found another brand called Ascent Life. I think I've tagged them in my website under self-care products, and they send with much better packaging. They don't have single-use plastic in them. I ordered this once and I've been using it ever since. And I reuse this box because it's pretty sturdy, so I have reused it for storing a lot of other things. But I would say, Fool is an organization I wouldn't dismiss so easily, because they are still doing a good job, because they are saving a lot of flower waste and petal waste and all of this temple waste that is gathered in the rivers, and they are making products out of it. So I still like them, but I can understand the shortcomings they have with their packaging or whatever. Maybe that wasn't their priority when they made that brand. Their priority was just using petals. So you can see, they'll probably adapt with more demands, with more people saying we don't want single-use plastic. So let's see how that turns out. These are some products that were sent to me, because products keep getting sent to me to try them on, and I have so many soaps to go through. But now my family is all living together and they've started noticing I have better soaps than them, so I'll have to start distributing it back to them. You have all these things of your own or your family too? Because I started decluttering and minimalism 6 months ago. I have only the things I use and I live in kind of rural area, so I shop local. Yeah, so I live in outskirts as well. Things are not easily accessible to me. Dunzo doesn't work in my area. No one delivers to my area. I don't have any fancy restaurants near my house either. I kind of live in a rural area as well, I could say, but not really. I segregate the waste that comes in my hand. I hoard the waste that comes in my hand. Whatever, wherever my day takes me, whoever I meet, whatever I'm doing, those are the waste that I bring back home with me. I don't step out of my house and I don't look into what everyone else is doing with their life. Probably there's a dustbin that is being used, probably there's trash that is being taken out. But I'll be honest, my family has been doing very well. They have been improving over time. It's been like 3 years I'm living zero waste, and there are some things they have now understood because they're also following me on Instagram and they have sort of gotten influenced. Uh, my dad is new to this because he got retired just this year and he has been living with us for the first time. So he's yet to learn how to remember to take cloth bags and, like, not bring home plastic packets. So yeah, I mean, I think when it's your own family members, you tend to get more annoyed because you have more expectations of them, because you're like, you're my family, you need to be smarter than other people. So but you have to be patient. It's fine, having someone in your life who is living zero waste gives you the opportunity to observe them, to actually see how they're living, to see if they're having fun while they're living, if they're able to live normally just like other people. If the person who's living zero waste is struggling so much and is like paranoid and anxious all the time and they're not having fun, no one's going to feel inspired by looking at your life. You have to let yourself go and like have fun, find ways to adjust, find ways to manage your waste even in the worst case scenarios. Find ways to be prepared and show that you can enjoy the things the same way other people enjoy, and only then someone would consider that lifestyle. If I look onto my family, I can have a lot of waste to segregate. Yes, and I think instead of taking your family's waste and cleaning it and segregating it, what one thing you can do is you can get your family into the habit of things that will make it easier for you to collect it from them. For example, cleaning the packets, cleaning the waste itself is something that they can just get into the habit of, even if they don't know which segregation box to put it in or remember to segregate it and all of that. So just encouraging them that, please, I know you're not able to stop yourself from bringing this chocolate into the house, but at least can you clean up the chocolate? Can you clean up the residue before you, give it to me or throw it into the dustbin? I'll be able to manage it. So if you're able to do that, please, give it to me. Then even you will be able to live zero waste with me. Otherwise, don't break your head too much over it. Don't get overwhelmed. Let them take their time to make that decision. So tell me your stories. Like I guess I want you guys to send me your stories of how you're managing with your family, because I think that is one thing that doesn't get spoken about a lot, and that is the one thing that stops people from going zero waste. You make the effort, and I get so many DMs of people who are like, my mom's not happy with this, my husband's not happy with this, they're not letting me, my maid is not letting me. And these are the most common queries I get, because motivation is there, intention is there, information is there, but still it's not easy for people. So because the social factor is really important. You want to feel accepted, you want to feel normal when you're practicing anything. So send me your stories. I would love to make posts about that and normalize that you're not the only person going through this. Everyone who tries to go zero waste goes through that. Okay, pencils. These are Dopology pencils, which I haven't had the opportunity to use yet. I just wanted to test them and see if they're good, and they are pretty good. You can find these products in my store as well. Okay, random item, cannot use it anymore. I can use it. It's what is this? A diffuser that I cracked and I threw it and I tried to fix it up with glue again, but I don't see myself using it anymore, and it's just been sitting on the table for a while, so I'm going to keep this in my balcony garden. It's quite annoying, to be honest. My dad's like, why are you storing waste in the house? My mom always tells me what will happen only if we do these things, but if I listen to her and convince her. Yeah, that's the first question that is attacked, isn't it? Like, what's the point if you're the only person doing it? And it makes you look like a crazy person when you're collecting waste, because they don't know that you have an idea of what to do with it. They need to know what are you going to do with it. Explain to them where you're sending it to, explain to them what happens to it and what this simple thing is preventing. Maybe they will understand, maybe they will not understand, but it's fine. If someone's getting annoyed that you're hoarding, chances are it's because this is a sticker. Sticker is not paper. Sticker is not plastic. Sticker is annoying. Okay, this goes into my eco brick. If they are not happy with the fact that you're hoarding, it's mostly because it's coming in their way of what their perfect house should look like, and they don't like the way it's looking, right? It's about the aesthetic, neatness, and organization part. So try and find a space that isn't visible, immediately visible. It's like if some guest comes home and they want to make their house look presentable. So try and find a corner in your house which isn't very obvious. These are India Post shipping bills, which I can throw away because those orders have been shipped. Random business cards. This is old wine bottles that I keep saving, but I never reuse them or do anything. I don't even propagate plants. I keep thinking I'll do it. That's one of my weaknesses. I see these Instagram posts of people propagating plants, and I keep saving all these things, but I don't actually do them. And they're just sitting in my balcony. There was this one time I ended up collecting so many bottles because I guess we had a few friends over and we ended up having a few beers and here and there. And I was like, okay, I can't possibly reuse 20 bottles now. This is too much. And I had to put them in a cart and I had to, give it to a kabadi wala to get that recycled. Found a cap finally for this bottle. Okay. Most of the cleaning is just organizing, and when you go zero waste, you also end up organizing things that you originally used to throw away in a dustbin. So most people, I mean, for them, cleaning would look like, okay, I don't need this, I don't know what to do with this is all obviously waste, and they would just crumple this up, throw it in a dustbin that is lined with a plastic bin liner, and take that plastic trash and throw it away in the landfill, when all of these are perfectly good materials that can be recycled if you just knew what to do with it, right? And all of it can be avoided. So is it that I'm living a wildly different life from a normal person? I'm not. I have the same kind of trash that everyone does. Probably not as much of plastic trash, but I still do have trash. But I just know what to do about it after hunting around and checking out who accepts it for recycling. How do you deal with microplastic waste? Example, my hubby cut out extra plastic out of a tube from a cleaning bottle. So you mean small plastic pieces, not really microplastic. Microplastic, I haven't figured out what to do about it. Usually there are products that retrofit in your washing machine. So microplastic is the fibers of polyester that come out of your clothes. They are the major source of microplastic. Small plastics, I can, if I know that they can be managed in polyfuel, I put it in that box. If I don't know what can be done about it because it's a mixed material or something like that, I put it in the eco brick. But I can manage it. If you can pick it out, you can store it for polyfuel. I have a bag full of beer and alcohol bottles and I need to make it reach to right recycler, but can't find one near to my region, but I will talk to municipal corporation better. Yeah. Glass can be recycled, but sometimes certain colors of glass have more value than the other. So your recycler might show hesitation in collecting it, but it will be recycled. Okay, so this was supposed to go in my compost box. This is more paper. More plastic caps. Okay, now I just need to dust this up. These are some language learning flashcards that I had kept. Okay. I don't know what this is, but it has been sitting here for a while. Stickers, more trash. Please don't bring stickers home. Stickers is trash. There's nothing like, no, don't bring it ever. I don't know why we have this. I think there's a bunch of things that I uncovered while going through my childhood stuff, and that's where all of this comes from. Some of this electronic items that are working, so I will check if they're working. If they're not working, then I will collect it for electronic waste, and Inside collects electronic waste. Daily Dump in Bangalore also collects electronic wastes and gives it to Inside on behalf of you. What is this material? This is not plastic, this is not paper. This is also annoying. So this, something like this, I don't know what to do about it, would probably go in the trash. And this is once in a while, once in a long time, I probably wouldn't know what to do with it. I will keep it for some time to see, and maybe click a picture of it, send it to a recycling center's Instagram DM and be like, hey, you know what this is, do you know how to manage it? If I get a positive response, I will save that kind of waste. If I don't, I will put it to trash. Brown grocery paper bags can be torn into pieces and put into compost. Yes, but if that paper bag is in a good condition, try to reuse it for at least 2 to 3 times, because it's sustainable if you reuse it a bunch of times. If you treat paper as a single-use thing, that also is unsustainable. So try and reuse it as much as possible. But yes, if it's like stained and torn or greased, you can shred it and put it in compost. I'm just checking for more questions before I leave. I don't think my table is clean, but it's organized better. I have cleared out a bunch of things. And yep, thank you so much for joining me, guys. I will be ending the live now. I hope you are able to clean your room without trashing inside a dustbin too much as well. And if you have any doubts, please head to my website odissu.com. Scroll down, there's a section called waste management, and every organization you need to know about, what waste they manage, how they manage it. Reach out to them, DM them, ask them how, if they can pick up the waste, or if they accept courier donations once in a long time, and try to make sure that you collect it for that. Clean it and collect it. Don't send dirty trash to people. That's not responsible, and it also reduces the waste's value. Like, a recycler can't recycle it if it's dirty. So definitely clean it and keep it. All right, good night.